Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Steve from Rockstar Eater, and right now I am out here in a town called Progreso de Obregón in the state of Hidalgo in Mexico. And for the next few days, I'm going to be staying in this family house where one of the great things they're going to do is to cook me authentic home-style family meals. And this is something that I've not had in Mexico or back home in LA, so this is actually going to be pretty cool. So if you guys want to see what authentic home-style Mexican food looks like, especially in this part of Mexico, then I encourage you to stick all the way to the end of this video because I'm going to show you my meals for the next few days, everything from breakfast to dinner. And also, if you are new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell because I post these food and travel videos weekly you don't want to miss out on. So go ahead, do that right now. And with that being said, I guess let's start with breakfast. Looks like everyone's awake. Jose, good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
Okay. So what's going on, breakfast?
Ivan's mom, the father, and his beautiful wife, they're here. They're going to prep us like a little meal. Something light, not too heavy, so we can go through our day.
Vamos a hacer un fideo que le gusta a don.
This is pretty cool because this is the first time I've ever had Mexican food made in a household, homemade Mexican food. All of my life I've been eating it at restaurants, but today that is going to change right here in this little town, Progreso. I guess all of this is going to be used to make the gorditas. So this is the maíz, which is the masa. And then we have what's called the pigweed, which is some sort of a vegetable right there, as well as shredded chicken, pollo. Yep, that is fresh made. And then on it goes to the skillet. Oh, it's cooking very nicely, making good progress. That's how it looks like when it's done. And then you start stuffing it with the veggies. And then also some cheese, queso. And it goes right in there. And this is done. Yeah, it's like a Mexican noodle soup.
This is so good. La sopita de fideo.
Thank you for identifying it for us all.
Rica.
All right, it is finished. This is the sope. So it looks like on it we got cheese, chicken, and the tomatillo sauce. And this is called quelite. I have never had this dish before. This is, yeah, I've never found this anywhere in LA before. This is pretty awesome. See, this is the cheese, the pigweed, veggies. You can look it up on Google on your own time. And this is the gordita. So it's basically like a noodle soup. Sopa. Sopa de fideo.
Yep.
It's going to take me some time, but I'll get it. Wow, it's very comforting. So it's very simple. It's just noodles and a tomato-based broth that's cooked together with the family recipe. I love it. I got to get this recipe from her. Wow. 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 I don't think I've ever tasted something like that before. It tastes very similar to spinach, but I do notice there's kind of a kick to it, like it's spicy. And the gordita, it's, you know, it almost tastes like a Salvadoran pupusa, but this is very Mexican, let me assure you. Also, this one called the sope. This one's good. So once again, there's cheese, there's chicken, and there's tomatillo sauce. Look at that, you even got the coffee too. Very nice. First breakfast on the trip, so far off to a great start. So I guess we're gonna finish off here and then we're headed off into the city. I don't think I've ever had an experience like this anywhere in Mexico. This is really as natural, organic, and like I said, as primitive of Mexican cooking that you're gonna find. I'm so used to the gas stoves, but this is so fun to see something like this. It's truly an adventure. Gotta pray before the meal, always. Here is the soup made by Mama Fide. Yeah. Wow, should I take one?
Very delicious.
This one? Oh, okay. All right, I'll take this one. These are the eggs that I saw being made earlier. And look, even beans, black beans. We're all seated at this table, communal style, and we're going to enjoy our soup as well as our beans and our eggs. And this looks amazing. The anticipation, every time I see food being made like this, it's like you really want to eat it right away. Wow, that is pretty good. That is so comforting. You really feel like a Mexican grandmother made something like this. So it is a chicken soup that kind of has a little bit of is it like a tomato flavor inside? But there's definitely a lot of pasta inside. When you drink it, it really comforts you. This feels like something you want to drink when you have a cold or when it's very cold. But in any season, I would totally eat it because this thing is amazing. We got some eggs too, all made back there, out in the open. That tastes just like scrambled eggs, but really flavored up. There's like tomatoes, there's onions in there, some spices. It's extremely flavorful, like something that tastes very homemade too. Wow, beans are perfect too. It's not too salty, not too bland. Yeah, these are like really perfect black beans. Wow. They even got tortilla for breakfast here too. I heard you roll it up like this, almost like a taquito, and then you dip it into the black beans. Even by itself, it tastes great because these are fresh made tortillas. I mean, that's the way you gotta do it. How could you buy store made tortillas and just serve it, right? Especially here in Mexico. Fresh made tortillas. That's the way you gotta do it. What is that? What is that? All right. Should I take it? Morning. Hello, morning, morning. Hello. Hola, hola.
Steve, this morning they surprised us. They actually brought all of the leftovers from the lamb yesterday, and they're actually going to recook it. And they say that the next day, the food even tastes better.
Really?
Yeah, because it stays overnight, and all of the juices actually penetrate into the meat and the broth, and all the ingredients actually kind of like just get a little more concentrated. So when you cook it, it gives it a whole different flavor.
So they're heating it up in the skillet, the tortilla with the lamb on top. So this is the gordita de barbacoa. And this one is the consomme Mexican soup. So there are vegetables in there, as well as the broth, which I believe is the lamb broth. And this is the sauce for the gordita de barbacoa. So it's pretty much like a salsa. Tomato, onion, I think there's chili in there too. We also got concha, bolillo. So this is the pan, which is the Mexican bread pastry. And look at that, these cups. I love these. This is for the coffee.
I'll show you this. This is almost like after Thanksgiving.
Here it is, the gordita de barbacoa. And this is once again the lamb that we used for the barbacoa the other night. And it looks different, obviously, because it's been cooked, so it's a little more concentrated, probably crispier. Decided to put the salsa on it as well. And then we also have the consomme, the lamb broth with the vegetables. I had this the other night. It was really good. All right, first bite of this gordita. Let's see how it is. Wow, no complaints about that. That is pretty tasty. And I like the crispiness of it. It's almost like it's been grilled, I would say. And this is once again the tortilla. You see how thick it is? So it's not like the really thin tortilla. They call this the gordita.
The gordita, they call it because it's a little thicker than a tortilla. So that's why the name of it's gordita. And it actually, it's a little thick enough to where you can actually slice it and stuff it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, almost like a pita bread, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, look at that. The soup is still nice and hot. Ooh, this is good. Okay, it tastes just like what I had the other night because this was part of the whole barbacoa experience. But the flavor I feel is a little bit more concentrated. It still has like that charcoal, or what is that, like firewood, burnt, smoky smell to it. I've never smelled anything like that in a Mexican dish before. This is only something that can be produced if you do something like what we did the other night. If you guys are watching and you are from a Mexican family, drop a comment because I want to know, is this something that your mom or your grandma makes at home or something similar? Because I would really like to know. So this is all the mojarra, which is the tilapia that's being prepared for tonight's dinner, looks like. All right, they're getting started in the morning time. So we are back at the house now, and tonight we are going to eat in instead of eating out. And as usual, grandmother is going to be making the homemade Mexican meal, and I'm so excited because she's going to be making seafood, specifically fried mojarra, as well as grilled fish, and even like the tamal, a lot of great Mexican foods. So that's the mojarra. So coated with some of the flour, and it goes right in there. And it looks like we have some rice tonight too. So that's the tomato and all the spices being ground up for the Mexican style rice. I never knew how Mexican rice was made. What made that color? I guess now I know. All right, looks like the first two fish is ready. You see these corn husks? This is going to be used for the tamal, and this is a very unique way of eating tamal for me, at least. See, that's the fish, the mojarra, and then this is the other things that are going to be stuffed in there, the veggie mix, which has, from what I see, cilantro, onion, chile, and we got some salt in there as well, and even some mint and some other things. After it's stuffed, then it is wrapped, and they have to do this individually with all of these pieces of fish. So we're going to have countless tamales that are going to be cooked for tonight. And yes, we do have a little bit of a group here, so everybody's going to be able to eat. How long does it take for this thing to cook?
I heard it just takes 15-20 minutes. And it's not for the fish. The fish is quick. It's more for the herbs that are inside that tamale wrap.
Look at that. It is so charred up, and that's how it looks like. Yeah.
That's the grilled tamale. The grilled fish tamale. Here we go. Look at this. Wow.
So tender.
It's hot.
It's very hot.
Isn't it amazing?
It's super tender. It just melts in your mouth.
It does.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy eating the rest of this in just a bit. I love the way my plate is looking. This is a full-on meal. Yep, you got the fried mojarra, the fried fish, along with the tamal. So this is the mojarra tamal with all of the veggies and herbs, and the Mexican rice made from scratch. I love it. Tortillas on the side, got to have this with your meal, right? And some people around the table like it spicy, so we got some of the pickled peppers along with the lime. This one is salad, it looks like, with lettuce and tomatoes. Nothing terribly fancy, but looks good. So this is a plate that it looks like it could have come out of a restaurant. All we're missing is just the beans, but it's okay, I'll take it. This is really awesome. Very classic tasting Mexican rice. Oh yeah, gotta have the rice. This is the first time that I've had rice on this trip. So this is not the first time I've had mojarra, but this is the first time I've had it in a Mexican family's home, especially here in Mexico, just like with pretty much everything else I've had on this trip. That is really good. It's fried to perfection. It's tender on the inside and it's crispy on top. And this fish didn't come from a market. The family got it from a fish farm. Like they picked it and then they brought it back and then they pretty much like cooked it. So it's as fresh as it can get. And like I said, it tastes so beautiful because it's very clean tasting. So it's not like very fishy. And I think the veggies really adds like more of an earthy flavor because it's vegetables along with like all these herbs. So it really tastes earthy. I think that's the best way to describe it. And there's one more. So this is the mojarra in cazuela, which means fish in the pot. So it's the same mojarra fish, but just cooked with all those ingredients that was in the tamal. Ooh, man, I love this. This is more kind of like a soupy type of mojarra. Wow. Okay, that one is pretty good too. So it tastes kind of similar to the tamal, but I feel it's like soupier. Wow. Oh man. I feel like I can just drink this broth all around the plate. So the veggies is similar to the ones that's used in the tamal. So it has like a very earthy type of taste, and I do taste the sliminess of the cactus in there as well. And the fish, I mean, nothing more to say. It's like super tender, very natural tasting, very fresh. Some of the most tender mojarra that I've had. So once again, this is Abuela Fide. She's been cooking for us for the last few days. Thank you so much. Gracias. I don't know what home-cooked Mexican food is like if you were to go to other cities or states in Mexico, whether it's like Puerto Vallarta or Tijuana or Guadalajara, but at least I can show you a sample of what it looks like here in the city of Progreso, in the state of Hidalgo. And it's very good. I can tell that this lady has put so much work into making this food, and I am very grateful. And this is not a restaurant, so don't try to call in or make reservations or try to find out where this place is at. I'm just showing you my personal life experience. So hopefully maybe one day you'll seek out a Mexican grandma or mother so that she can cook you a wonderful meal. Anyways, it's late night. I'm gonna go to sleep, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next food adventure.